Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the English News Bulletin on MMTV. I'm Aisha Tashkil with the news this hour. In today's news, First Lady Madam Sajida Mohammed has called for increased efforts to enhance public awareness and understanding of autism. Minister Mohammed Saeed has said that the administration's greatest achievement is averting national bankruptcy. And now we will start with the details. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz announced several initiatives during his presidential address to the People's Majlis on Thursday, focusing on housing, tourism, legal reforms, decentralization, and renewable energy.
The government's housing strategy centers on a major land reclamation project at Utturu Tilafadu, adding 150 hectares within 2025. This expansion addresses the critical housing shortage in the Greater Male region, providing solutions for residents across 6 key areas: Male, Vilimale, Hulumale, Gulifadu, North Tilafadu, and Fushidi-Garfadu. Technical and administrative preparations are underway for a strategic bridge project linking Utturu Tilafadu, Giravaru, and Tilafushi, with construction scheduled to begin in 2026. The bridge will enhance connectivity and facilitate the development of these newly reclaimed areas. Building on the success of reaching 2 million visitors in 2024, the government has set an ambitious target of 2.3 million tourists by the end of 2025. This 15% growth target will be supported by expanding into previously underdeveloped regions, particularly Hadal and Thai atolls. Investment concessions and incentives aim to attract developers to these untapped areas. The national carrier Maldivian plays a crucial role in this expansion, having introduced wide-body aircraft services to Chinese destinations. The airline plans to extend its reach to European markets, with additional aircraft joining its fleet in October 2025, enhancing direct connectivity to major tourist markets. A cornerstone of judicial reform is the establishment of a public defender's office, ensuring legal representation for economically disadvantaged citizens. A dedicated bill will be submitted to Parliament to facilitate this initiative. The Superior Court complex in Hulumale represents a significant infrastructure upgrade for the judiciary. In the interim, the criminal and drug courts will relocate to more spacious facilities, addressing immediate space constraints and enabling more efficient case processing. These reforms aim to reduce delays in hearings and verdicts while improving public access to justice. The government's commitment to local governance is demonstrated through the development of 105 council facilities nationwide, comprising 55 council secretariat buildings and 50 additional facilities funded through Chinese grants. This infrastructure expansion is complemented by comprehensive administrative reforms, including salary adjustments for council staff aligned with civil service reforms. Legislative amendments to the Employment Act and Decentralization Act will transform committee allowances into formal salary grades, professionalizing local governance roles and enhancing service delivery at island level. The ambitious floating solar project, set to commence in 2027, will add 100 megawatts of solar energy to the national grid, marking a significant step towards sustainable energy production. The innovative Mage Solar initiative encourages citizen participation in renewable energy generation, supported by special economic zone development permits to attract foreign investment. These initiatives align with the administration's target of generating 33% of national energy from renewable sources, demonstrating a commitment to environmental sustainability and energy independence. The President emphasized that these initiatives collectively represent a coordinated approach to national development, addressing immediate needs while laying foundations for long-term sustainable growth across the nation. President Dr. Muiz's address garnered significant support across the Maldivian political spectrum. Maldives National Party MP Muhammad Nazim characterized the address as hopeful and detailed, expressing optimism about achieving the outlined objectives through government-public cooperation. Jamhuri Party leader and Mamigili MP Qasim Ibrahim strongly endorsed the administration's policies, particularly highlighting plans for simultaneous presidential and parliamentary elections to prevent misuse of state resources. However, he criticized the opposition Maldivian Democratic Party for attempting to undermine national interests and warned that political instability could affect debt obligations due in 2025. Finally, Parliament Speaker Abdur Rahim reinforced the legislative body's commitment to supporting the President's agenda, highlighting the 20th Parliament's recent achievements. These included passing laws to reduce state debt, increase revenue, and establish frameworks for foreign currency transactions. And the Speaker emphasized Parliament's readiness to continue this work in the new session while acknowledging the cooperative spirit among MPs.
Ahmad Azan, Member of Parliament for Addo Hitadu Central, and Ahmad Aifan, Member of Parliament for Himwer North, have praised President Dr. Mohammad Moises' recent address, stating it reaffirmed his dedication to fulfilling his election promises. Their remarks were made during a Facebook Live discussion titled Riyasi Bayan 2025, hosted by the Chief Spokesperson of the President's Office, Hina Walid. The session focused on reflections from the presidential address delivered on Thursday. Azan described the address as one of the most detailed he had ever witnessed, noting its comprehensive coverage of various sectors. He highlighted that while past leaders often struggle to uphold their promises, President Dr. Moises' approach reflects a clear commitment to delivering on his pledges. He further pointed out that unlike previous administrations where promises were easily forgotten, President Dr. Moises had taken a transparent approach by publishing a book documenting his pledges within his first year in office. According to Azan, this initiative promotes both transparency and accountability. Echoing Azan's views, Aifan noted that the presidential address provided strong indications that the government is actively aligning its actions with its promises made during the election campaign. He emphasized the 2025 budget as a critical tool for enabling the president to fulfill these commitments. Aifan also cited projects like Rasmale as evidence of the administration's capability to address the needs of the people. Concluding the session, Hina announced that discussions on the presidential address would continue in future broadcasts with plans to seek further clarifications on questions related to the president's commitments. First Lady Madam Sajida Muhammad has called for increased efforts to enhance public awareness and understanding of autism, stressing the importance of correcting widespread misconceptions. She delivered these remarks during the 15th anniversary celebration of the Maldives Autism Association on February 6th. Addressing attendees at the event held in Holumale, the First Lady pointed out that misunderstandings about autism persist within the community. She noted that many still view the condition as something requiring a cure or believe that individuals with autism must modify their behavior to fit societal norms. She underscored the need to challenge these perceptions and promote a more accurate understanding of autism. She further emphasized that children should be embraced as they are with full acceptance of their individuality. Acknowledging the efforts of the Maldives Autism Association, she commended the organization's role in fostering inclusivity and providing essential support to individuals with autism, enabling them to advocate for their rights and contribute to society. The First Lady also drew attention to the global landscape of autism, noting that despite the challenges it presents, many individuals have achieved remarkable success in various fields. She encouraged parents and caregivers to focus on nurturing the strengths of children with autism rather than being discouraged by the difficulties they may face. In her speech, she reiterated the government's commitment to supporting individuals with autism as part of its broader social justice initiatives. She highlighted plans aimed at increasing employment opportunities for people with autism, ensuring they have access to meaningful career prospects. During the ceremony, the First Lady also recognized long-serving employees of the Maldives Autism Association, presenting them with commemorative plaques in appreciation of their dedication and contributions to the cause. Minister of Finance and Planning Musa Zamir has announced that the government is pursuing an ambitious economic leap forward in its development agenda. Speaking at a forum held at the Islamic University of Maldives on Thursday evening, following President Dr. Mohammad Moises' presidential address to Parliament, Minister Zamir characterized the address as the most comprehensive presidential speech in the nation's history. The finance minister explained that when President Dr. Moise was preparing to assume the presidency, reports from international financial institutions, including the IMF, had identified substantial challenges. He emphasized that the presidential address clearly demonstrated the president's intention to implement what he termed a leap or jump forward in development. Minister Zamir noted that the president continues to reinforce these plans during his ongoing visits to various islands across the archipelago. The finance minister added that presidential address detailed plans for achieving sustainable development following recent years' fiscal challenges alongside a comprehensive strategy to deliver on the people's needs and aspirations. Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammed Said has identified President Dr. Mohamed Moise's prevention of national bankruptcy and economic stabilization as one of his administration's most significant achievements. Speaking at a special forum discussing the presidential address to Parliament at the Islamic University of Maldives, Minister Said detailed the economic challenges faced by the administration. The forum featured 4 cabinet ministers, including Finance Minister Musa Zamir, Fisheries Minister Ahmad Shiam, and Housing Minister Dr. Abdullah Muttalib. Minister Said revealed that the administration inherited an economy in severe distress with a national debt of 125 billion rupiah, of which 60% was accumulated during the previous administration. All 4 ministers at the forum unanimously agreed that President Dr. Moise's strategic vision has led to significant developmental progress for the Maldives. They also praised the comprehensive nature of the president's parliamentary address. Welcome back. In continuation with more local news, Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shiam has stated that President Dr. Mohamed Moise faced significant institutional constraints in implementing his electoral promises from his inauguration until the swearing-in of the newly elected 20th Parliament members. Speaking at a forum held Thursday night at the Islamic University of Maldives, where 4 cabinet ministers discussed the presidential address to Parliament, Mr. Shiam characterized it as the most comprehensive presidential address in both his parliamentary experience and official records. Minister Shiam emphasized that while the Maldivian governance system is structured for parliamentary support of the executive, this cooperation was notably absent due to the opposition's majority until the new parliament's formation. The minister highlighted that unlike the brief transition period in 2023 after assuming office, the political climate for implementing presidential initiatives has improved markedly in 2024. He attributed this shift to the public mandate, giving both a 5-year presidential term and parliamentary majority to the President Dr. Moise's administration. According to Minister Shyam, 2024 was predominantly focused on establishing the fundamental frameworks and mechanisms to fulfill electoral commitments. He expressed confidence that 2025 would herald significant national development building on these foundations. The minister concluded that the successful launch of promised initiatives this year would transform the president's term into an era of unprecedented development. The Maldives has recorded 214,864 tourist arrivals in January 2025, marking an 11.7% increase compared to 192,385 arrivals in January 2024. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Tourism, as of February 4, 2025, total tourist arrivals for the year have reached 248,545, maintaining 11.7% growth compared to the same period last year. So far in February, the highest single-day arrivals were recorded on February 1st, with 9,495 tourists visiting the country, while the daily average for February stands at 8,420 tourists. Resorts continue to attract the largest share of visitors, with 173,154 tourists choosing to stay in resorts. Guest houses followed with 63,197 visitors, while hotels welcomed 6,325 tourists. Additionally, safari vessels accommodated 5,754 visitors and other facilities hosted 115 tourists. China remains the leading source market for Maldivian tourism, accounting for 17.4% of total arrivals. Russia follows at 9.9%, with Italy and the UK both contributing 8.9%. This represents a shift in market composition compared to 2024, when the UK was the third largest market, followed by Germany and then Italy. South Hemweru MP Ahmad Aifan has expressed confidence that President Dr. Mohamed Moise's leadership will effectively address the country's pressing social and economic challenges. Speaking to MMTV following the presidential address on February 6, 2025, MP Aifan highlighted ongoing efforts to combat drug abuse, gang violence, and crime, stating that tangible measures are already underway. He criticized opposition lawmakers for attempting to disrupt the address, accusing opposition MPs of deflecting responsibility for past financial mismanagement. MP Aifan argued that those who had contributed to the country's economic difficulties were now unwilling to acknowledge their role. The MP reaffirmed his support for President Dr. Moise's policies and pledged that lawmakers would remain committed to fulfilling the government's promises to drive national development forward. President Dr. Mohamed Moise has extended warm greetings and best wishes to the government and the people of Grenada as the nation marks its Independence Day on 7th February. In separate messages addressed to Governor-General Dame Cecilia Le Grenade and Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, President Dr. Moise conveyed the well wishes of the Maldivian government and its citizens. He also expressed his personal hopes for their continued good health and happiness. In the next few minutes, we'll cover the top stories and developments that made headlines this week. Let's take a look into the week in review.
On February 1, 2025, President Dr. Mohamed Moise announced the merger of the Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy with the Ministry of Tourism, forming the new Ministry of Tourism and Environment. As part of this restructuring, Tariq Ibrahim was appointed as the new minister, succeeding Ibrahim Faisal, who was dismissed from the role. At the appointment ceremony held at the President's office, Minister Tariq took his oath before Chief Justice Ustaz Ahmad Muttasim Adnan. President Dr. Moise spoke of the need for an integrated approach that aligns environmental sustainability with tourism development, recognized. On February 1, 2025, President Dr. Mohamed Moise announced the merger of the Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy with the Ministry of Tourism, forming the new Ministry of Tourism and Environment. As part of this restructuring, Tariq Ibrahim was appointed as the new minister, succeeding Ibrahim Faisal, who was dismissed from the role. At the appointment ceremony held at the President's office, Minister Tariq took his oath before Chief Justice Ustaz Ahmad Muttasim Adnan. President Dr. Moise spoke of the need for an integrated approach that aligns environmental sustainability with tourism development, recognizing the critical role of both sectors in the nation's future. In a move to modernize governance and enhance digital infrastructure, the government unveiled a comprehensive digital transformation plan on February 2025. This initiative seeks to strengthen technology governance, improve e-government services, and ensure national data security. Among its key components are the establishment of a national sovereign cloud, an interoperable open data sharing platform, and the implementation of eFAS, a secure electronic identification system. Additionally, the government has commissioned a nationwide survey on migration perspectives in island communities. This initiative focuses on understanding economic and environmental factors influencing population movement, with particular attention to the proposed relocation of residents from Hadal Hiramandu to Kaf Tulusdu. This plan reflects broader efforts to address demographic shifts and infrastructural challenges. The Maldivian economy demonstrated a notable resilience in the final quarter of 2024, with financial indicators reflecting both opportunities and challenges. The Maldives Monetary Authority MMA announced a 14% growth in official reserve assets, bringing the total to $673.2 million in December 2024. To further stabilize the nation's reserves, the government mandated that tourism businesses exchange their foreign earnings in local banks, a move expected to inject approximately $40 million into the financial system. Tax revenues also showed positive momentum. According to the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority (MIRA), state tax revenue increased by 6.7% in 2024, reaching MVR 25.1 billion. This growth was driven by higher collections from tourism, GST, business profit tax, and green tax, highlighting the continued expansion of the tourism and corporate sectors. The insurance industry reached a significant milestone, surpassing MVR 2 billion in premium issuance, with health insurance leading market growth. Additionally, imports rose by 4%, with food products experiencing the highest increase, notably in vegetables, seafood, and dairy items. The United Arab Emirates UAE emerged as the Maldives' largest import partner, overtaking India for the first time. The fishing industry also witnessed a historic achievement, with the Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company MIFCO reporting the highest fish weighing for January in 28 years. The company processed 8,324 metric tons of fish, underscoring the government's initiatives aimed at strengthening the fisheries sector. In support of local fishermen, the government has also announced plans to expand refrigerated seawater systems on fishing vessels to improve fish preservation and market value. Beyond economic growth, the government has prioritized public welfare initiatives aimed at improving the well-being of Maldivians. In a landmark move, First Lady Sajida Mohammed launched the Happiness Index, a nationwide framework designed to assess the well-being of citizens. Developed in collaboration with the Islamic University of Maldives (IUM), the initiative seeks to integrate spiritual, mental, and social well-being into national policy making. Addressing social challenges, the government has intensified efforts to combat substance abuse. More than 100 drug users were removed from the streets and placed into rehabilitation programs as part of a government-led initiative in collaboration with the Maldives Police Service. Officials emphasized that early intervention is critical to tackling addiction and ensuring long-term recovery. On World Cancer Day, February 4, 2025, President Dr. Moise reiterated his administration's commitment to reducing tobacco consumption, urging the public to quit smoking. Under new regulations, the government has implemented a ban on vape products, increased excise duties on tobacco, and raised the legal purchasing age from 18 to 21 to curb nicotine addiction. In the political sphere, the Maldivian Democratic Party MDP organized a public rally on February 1, 2025, which was conducted under police protection without interference. Commenting on the event, Hina Walid, chief spokesperson at the president's office, stated that the peaceful nature of the rally demonstrates the government's commitment to upholding constitutional rights, including freedom of assembly and expression.
And that concludes all the news we have for you this hour. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant weekend.